Resident Evil movie reboot has new story details leaked online. We might be in for a big change. So, this is a video I wanted to go ahead and do. I seen this article about like almost a week ago and I wanted to talk about this and do a video on it. And I figured with, me doing a video earlier today in regards to the Legend of Zelda movie announcement and everything like that, this would kind of work out really well. So, this is a weird one right here because, I gave my information and my thoughts on, the whole Legend of Zelda movie coming out and how I felt about that, just because it is one of those things where I love The Legend of Zelda. It's one of my favorite franchises. And then the same here goes for Resident Evil. So seeing the information that we're getting on this has me a little bit disappointed just because this is like the third crack they're going to be doing at doing a Resident Evil movie. And I'm just, I don't like what I'm hearing so far. So for anyone that doesn't know, Capcom was able to kind of get the rights going for another film. I think PlayStation is going to be doing it, and then there's another company. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I kind of forgot who it was, but they're in the works right now to making another. They're doing a reboot with the Resident Evil. So obviously we had the Resident Evil films with Mila Jovovich as like the main character. We had Welcome to Raccoon City. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, which I heard was okay, but just the fact that they tried integrating the first and second game in one film, I thought was a very stupid decision. And yeah, I've heard that there are some good things in that film, but I've heard that there's also a lot of things about it that are just it doesn't work. I didn't like the cast that they decided to have for Jill. I didn't like the character that was supposed to play as Leon, and it was just a very dumb decisions and very bad direction. I feel like that they decided to go in when it came down to doing the reboot. So hearing this news, I wasn't too happy about it. I was kind of like, oh man, like can we just stop with the Resident Evil movies for a bit? You know what I mean? Like, give us some air to breathe, us fans and everything. And I know they're probably trying to capitalize on it with the franchise of the games doing kind of like really well that they are right now with Resident Evil 2 remake, and then obviously with Resident Evil 4 remake a few years back. I feel like the franchise is actually doing well right now, so they're trying their best to kind of see if they can keep that momentum going. But I don't know, man. Anytime they come out with a film and it kind of shits on the IP of the original games, like to what the stories are in there, it just kind of lessens the IP in general. So I'm not too happy with hearing this information. And then some of the information that we had got right here as far as the movie, what's entailed for it. So the upcoming Resident Evil film follows a hapless courier tasked with delivering a package to a remote hospital. He finds himself caught in the middle of an outbreak and must fight through hordes of mutated creatures to survive. So Daniel Richmond. So I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna try to be going kind of in the direction of Resident Evil 2, kind of with Leon. I mean, obviously it's not a cop, it's gonna be a hospital worker, but just hearing that information right there, that doesn't have me excited for what's to come as far as them doing a movie. It seems like they're trying to go in their own direction as far as the story goes, and I don't know, man. When it comes down to that type of things, whenever they're doing stuff like that, when it comes down to video game franchises and then trying to make a movie of it and then giving the name but changing the story altogether, it's like if that's the case, just make a different zombie movie. You know what I mean? Like, don't call it Resident Evil when you're not going to have any of the original cast, which what it sounds like they're not going to have. You're not going to have any of the original stories, which it sounds like they're not going to have. And then you're not going to follow kind of the same direction. I mean, chances are they're going to probably have some of the same creatures in it. So they might, obviously they're going to have zombies. They're probably going to have, let's say, like a licker or a tyrant kind of enemies in it and everything like that. But the fact that they're trying to go in this direction and just change things up altogether without actually giving us, the main characters and everything like that, it's like at that point, just do something else, man. Like, don't even take the rights and try to work with it. But obviously that's the direction they're going to be taking it and they're going to be trying to go in. So who knows as far as the films itself is going to go. Obviously you can't really decide how far they're going to go as far as franchises go. So with them doing a movie right now, they're going to have to see how it does at the box office and everything like that, because Welcome to Raccoon City. Chances are they were probably doing planning on doing a few movies with that. Like I said, I've never watched it, so I don't know how it ends and everything like that. If they left it open for like a sequel or some like future adaptations for that franchise in that world that they were trying to do. But as far as this goes, I feel like they gotta really focus on just making one good film, something that people actually like, and then deciding if it does well to move on from that. So I'm thinking they probably went that direction with the last film, so Welcome to Raccoon City, because obviously they haven't made a sequel and they're not planning to or anything like that. They had to sell off the rights or kind of switch out the rights for it. But it's a weird one, man. So I'm just hoping that this goes well. This isn't something that they're gonna kind of mess up, even though that we've seen them mess up a lot with this franchise in the past. Who knows? I know a big thing was that the Resident Evil films, they kind of the original ones with Milo Jovovich, they did do well as far as the box office goes, and they weren't too expensive to make. So I know that was one of the main reasons why those ones kept being like shipped out and they kept just coming out with sequel after sequel. But obviously with, Welcome to Raccoon City, I feel like people are kind of weighing thin on the Resident Evil franchise as far as films go. So like I said, the only thing they can really do right now is just focus on making a good film, and if it's really good, then kind of see what direction they can go in after that. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, at this point, I really don't have my hopes up, and I'm not really too excited to be hearing this news. I'm actually kind of the opposite direction where I'm just like, oh God, here we go. So yeah, I mean, though that like I said, those are my thoughts, and that's how I feel. But I gotta see. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think though in the comment section. So if there is any Resident Evil fans, any big ones like myself. Do you think that there is going to be potential for this to actually be doing well, or do you think they're just going to be messing it up again as they've done, pretty much for the third time? Now, I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, if you guys can let me know your guys' thoughts and what your guys' thought process in the comments as far as this decision goes. So if you guys can let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments, if you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.